All right, so lower body day here. Just getting warmed up after some plyos, some hot lighter tier hops, skips, things like that. Just starting from different positions. Best way to get warmed up for sprinting, I think, is to sprint. I've said this before, and it is go just different variations until you are ready to go full speed. And I made a post about this, and potentiation. So a lot of people talk about post-action potentiation, PAP, and how it's some magic thing to make you jump higher or sprint faster. A lot of times it's jumping. So it's basically a heavier strength movement followed by a explosive movement or plyometric. That's what it is a lot of times. Basically, it's contrast training. Do a heavier strength movement to kind of fire up the neurological system, and that will potentiate and help you jump higher. So if you're doing a squat, you do a squat by like a vertical jump, kind of that similar movement pattern, or maybe it's a hinge movement followed by a broad jump, something like that. Or it could be a bench press followed by a plyometric push-up or a med ball chest pass. So you're typically doing a similar movement in that for the post-action potentiation. So a similar movement, that contrast training, with a little bit of rest in between. So you do one, like that heavy squat, rest. There's different variations of how you do it. Rest a little bit and then do a vertical jump. And can it help you? Can it potentiate and get your body ready? Yeah, it can fire up your nervous system, get you ready. But if we look at it and look at everything is potentiation. Those warm-up sprints were potentiated my nervous system, potentiated my body, prepped my body for my full-on, full-speed sprints, which this day it was shorter sprints. So I did 5-yard build to a 10-yard fly, so 15-yard sprint basically. And then I did some 20-yard sprints. Those were my full-speed ones. So the plyos I did, the warm-up I did, that all potentiates or prepares my body for those sprints. Those sprints prepare my body for these jumps, the triple broad jumps, the ball off the wall jumps. All this stuff is, if you really think about it, it's all potentiating. And that can be good or bad. Does post-action potentiation work for some people? Yeah, it probably works pretty good. But is it going to be some magic pill, magic cure, some long-lasting thing? Probably not. That's what good training is. It's just good fundamental training is going to be the long-term key, that consistency over time. But everything potentiates. Could be a bad potentiation, could be good. And think of it as effect. It affects it. So everything I did before this was potentiating to these squats. These squats are potentiating to the next thing. This workout potentiates to tomorrow's workout. Yesterday's workout potentiated to this one. How I slept last night potentiates my ability to train this day. The stresses I have from whatever, it's work or just life in general, that potentiates all this stuff. So if you really think about it, everything is potentiation, potentiates whatever, that effect, because everything has an effect. Everything is so connected, and we're also different. So what works for someone else, post-action potentiation might work great for someone. For someone else, it might not. It might just make you tired, or something like that, or just make you not feel good. It's all individual, and that's where the true individualization comes. And it's not some magic program or something like that. Yes, you're going to individualize based on each person, how that person is coming in each day, how they're adapting, how their body is affected by different stimuluses, whatever the word would be. But again, post-action potentiation is kind of just a fancy way to say contrast training. And does contrast training work? Sure, it can work. Is it, again, it's nothing magic about it. But all these books and these studies, whatever, say it works. But it can work for someone. I'm not saying it doesn't. I do it a lot. I do a lot of contrast training. But I don't do it necessarily for that post-action potentiation effect. Most of the time I do it is just because I want to get things done. I'm short on time or don't want to just sit around and rest for 2 minutes in between a squat set or something like that. So I'll do a jump or just more time specific and that constraint of time. So getting things done. As watching, I think this is the Saturday Night Live 50th, which is pretty good. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. It was pretty good. Long but good. Some good memories. But again, think of everything as potentiation. Everything affects something else. This workout affects the next. Sleep, nutrition, it all affects each thing. Doing too much load on one exercise is gonna affect maybe negatively on the next exercise. If you're lifting too much volume in lifting, that might affect your squats. So you got to arrange your training the best you can. Again, schedule determines that, but you might not want to do a high volume of squatting or something, deadlifting the day before you're going to go for for sprints, things like that. So you got to adjust and learn your body and learn what helps the other things, what affects negatively and positively other things. And it could change day to day. One day your sleep might be off and it might not matter too much. The next time it might matter a lot. So it's about learning your body. That's the main thing. And that's when I'm working with clients. I want them to learn their body. Can I tell you everything to do? Yeah, but I can't do the work for you. It's about figuring out what works best for you, what's going to help potentiate or get you ready, what warm-ups get you ready for the workout, what exercises mesh well for your body, you and your body, what outside stresses don't mesh well and affect you more. Is that fight you got in with your boss bringing you down, or do you use that as motivation? Different things like that. We're also different. But if we look at the contrast training and potentiation, can it be effective? Yeah, it can be effective, but I don't think it's like going to be that little bit of contrast training is going to make you jump higher in the long run. If you're just doing it like one or two times, you got to do stuff consistently jumping, consistently sprinting, consistently lifting. That's what's going to get the results and build the long term. Doing athletic things, that's what's going to get you the results. Help you jump higher, sprint faster, lift more weights. Not just one technique or method like post-action potentiation, not just conjugate, not just undulating periodization, not just linear periodization. It's just consistently finding what works and doing it over a long term. That short-term stuff, yeah, you might see short-term jump improvement with a heavy squat followed by a vertical jump or whatever, but that might not last forever. It might just be that instance right there. So you got to keep doing stuff. You got to keep working. You got to keep moving. You got to keep training consistently over time. But if you really think about it, potentiation is everything. So that's what I have for you today, guys. Again, I didn't get too much in depth in the video here, but you kind of saw it. It's basically the same stuff I've been doing the last few weeks in this phase. Next week will be a little bit different. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back with more. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.